bonjour everyone, this is Tara. I have a very intimate kind of update for you. I'm just doing this on my computer because I have a message inside that I really want to get out and share with you, and I didn't want to wait for anything else. So this is a bit impromptu, but for me it feels very powerful and very timely, which is why I didn't want to wait. I want to let you know, yesterday I had a private day with a client. And there was this theme that came up again and again, and I have seen it over and over with my clients over the years. And it's about, how do you structure your day? How do you structure your day in a way that serves you, a way that allows you to have the impact, the influence that you're called to have, but also allows you to feel like you're in a flow, instead of feeling like you're pushing, instead of feeling like you're exhausted, and also instead of feeling like you're not actually doing the things that you want to be doing during the day. So just to give you a little bit of background, this particular client was feeling overwhelmed. She was feeling exhausted. She was doing a lot, but she also didn't feel like she was getting done the things that were important to her. Not only self-care, but the things in her life that felt important. Tell you another thing that was going on with this client, she was having a lot of problems sleeping. I think this is really an epidemic right now going on, and it's interesting because a lot of women, I haven't talked to men about this, but a lot of women I think just learn to cope with it. Kind of just go on with, all right, I didn't sleep well, but I've just got to keep going. I can't sleep all day, and instead of really ever feeling like they've caught up, it's just kind of this tapping into a deep level of adrenals, in fact. And a lot of my clients will end up with when they come to me, before they come to Elegant Femme, they've experienced adrenal fatigue. They're just feeling kind of really wiped out. And in that space, it's really difficult to think about your next level. It's difficult to get excited about life. And it's difficult to even think about structuring your day in a way that will really serve you. Because we all have things to do during the day, right? It's not about just taking a complete sabbatical, although that would be kind of nice, wouldn't it? I think I'm going to put that on my list. So I wanted to share with you what I shared with her. And if you're familiar with the FemmeTypes, that's fantastic. So if you've been in the Elegant Femme community for some time and you're familiar with your Frenchie Energy New Yorker, that's fantastic. This is really going to assist you. If you're brand new to the Elegant Femme community and this is the first time you're hearing about Frenchie Energy New Yorker, I'm going to share a little bit with you today. But my invitation for you would actually be to go take the quiz that we have below and learn a little bit more about your Frenchie Energy New Yorker, because this is really a support structure for the modern woman and a way to allow yourself to align with who you are on a daily basis. So that being said, let me talk to you about the structure that I shared with her and something that I follow in my day-to-day. So when I wake up in the morning, now, and I'm going to utilize the FemmeTypes here because this is the whole structure for me. The indie FemmeType is the being FemmeType. It's a FemmeType that allows us to be in a space of calm, inner knowing, self-confidence, awareness, really feeling grounded no matter what's swirling around us. And what happens for the majority of women is they'll actually start their day in faux New Yorker energy. What do I mean by faux New Yorker energy? This energy, without explaining the entire faux process to you, what I'll say is the faux New Yorker energy is really frazzled. It's really that energy of, I'm already behind before I even got started. I'll never get there. I'm not done yet. Oh my gosh, that kind of is faux New Yorker energy. And how do the majority of women start their day in faux New Yorker energy? They pick up their phone. They pick up their phone first thing when they get out of bed, sometimes when they're still in bed, and start the day in this faux New Yorker energy, which creates anxiety. And the majority of women actually go to bed with the faux New Yorker energy, up late at night, checking your computer, doing one last thing. Okay, this is not the energy that's going to be conducive to you feeling in the flow, to you getting things done strategically, and then also you winding down in a way that allows you to receive fully during your sleep period, during your nighttime journey. Okay, so instead of doing that, what I invite you to do, and this is my personal process as well, is you start in your indie energy. You wake up during the day, you start with your indie. Maybe for you that's meditation or journaling. Maybe it's the still process. That's a process inside of Elegant Femme that we have. Something that allows you to feel grounded and connected. One of the things that women in the Elegant Femme community do that I've been sharing for some time is lemon tea, hot lemon tea, and the still process. And we also have a Femme Flow process that assists you in connecting. So the beginning part of your day, I want you to think about indie energy. What can you do to feel deeply connected to yourself and your source? That's how you start your day. Then you easily transition into Frenchie energy. And you might say, okay, well, what's Frenchie energy, especially if you're brand new? Frenchie energy has to do with enjoying. It has to do with what pleases you. It also has to do with body image and relationships. So flowing from Indie energy into Frenchie energy allows you to go from being to enjoying inside your day. So important. If you skip the Frenchie in your day, even if you start with the Indie and then you jump into New Yorker, you are going to feel like something is missing in your day. And this is really interesting because a lot of women will do this. They'll start, okay, I'm on my spiritual growth journey. I've done a lot of personal growth before. I'm going to wake up and I'm going to meditate and then I'm going to jump right into my work. Big mistake. Because a lot of women will put the Frenchie on the back burner and say, okay, I'll enjoy later. Not in my book. Enjoy first. Okay? So for me, to give you some examples of Frenchie energy, for me personally, this would be yoga, for me moving my body, stretching. This is tea with my boys. So after I have my private time and my lemon tea, I actually do a beautiful breakfast in the morning for my boys. An old tradition in my family, my Scottish grandmother started all of us on this. We have a beautiful black tea with milk. It's just a beautiful setting. So my boys, yes, my teenage boys drink tea with me in the morning. And just a beautiful Frenchie time for connection. Then I'll get dressed and I'll put on my lingerie and, just a beautiful outfit that assists me in my Frenchie energy. Then, and only then, am I ready to move into New Yorker energy. So running a business, running a household, being a mom, those to-dos, we have a specific way to help you choose what to do first, that one thing inside the Fem Flow list. But I'll give you an idea here. So New Yorker energy is anything that really that requires doing, it requires strategy, it requires power, it has to do with prosperity, it can be organization. So even if you don't run a business, you might say, well, what's my New Yorker energy if I don't run a business? It's that doing. So it might be getting the household chores done. It might be, organizing your kids' school trips. It's that, but being very strategic about it, all right? I want to be really clear here because the real New Yorker energy is being very strategic and being very aware of what is the thing that you're going to do that day, starting with one thing. Okay, you choose the most important one thing first. That's really going to assist you in having movement. It's not about doing 55 things in a half an hour that are all sporadic and not really important. Inside your New Yorker, you want to be efficient and effective, okay? So you have the first part of your day. Now, here's a big mistake that a lot of women make. A lot of women, first of all, some women tap into the Indie, some women don't. Most women don't tap into the Frenchie, some women do, but most women that come into Elegant Femme, at least in the beginning, are running completely on faux New Yorker energy. Here's what I'm inviting you to do. Once you've moved into the beginning part of your day, goes Indie, Frenchie, New Yorker energy. The end part of your day is the exact opposite. It's a wind down. So it goes New Yorker, Frenchie, Indie at the end of your day. Really important. This is going to be a game changer for you. I know it. So you have your New Yorker energy. You keep your New Yorker energy open till whenever your day ends, because you do have to have completion to your day. When I hear it's just painful inside, I hear a lot of women who will unconsciously step into Frenchie energy. They'll have a lovely meal with their family, and then because they're not aware of this, they'll go back on the computer. And maybe you've done that. They go back on the computer, they turn it on, they open Facebook, they open up their email, they open whatever it is that they feel like they didn't do, and all of a sudden they've reacted, most likely faux New Yorker, but let's just say New Yorker. They react New Yorker energy, and then they think they're going to go to sleep. It doesn't work that way. That's why if you've ever done this, you get that second wind, and you got the lights on your computer, and all of a sudden you're laying in bed like, an insomniac. So instead, you move from New Yorker, you close your day. You have to have some sort of completion to your day. For me, I love making a flow list for the next day. I love checking in with my team, something kind of ceremonious. I close my computer, I straighten up my office, I turn off my lights, and I close the office door. And that to me is like, New Yorker energy, complete, okay? And if there's something that I feel is really weighing on me that I say, I really wish I would have done that today, I'll keep a note for myself for the following day. Because typically those big things kind of sneak up on us at the end of the day and we try to do them or we avoid them. But then the next day when we have time to do them, suddenly we forgot what they are. So that's helpful for me. Just a little side note for you. Then I'll move into Frenchie energy. I love creating, I love designing, whether it's clothes or a beautiful plate for my family. So I'll help with the dinner. You know, the dinner is my role, but we have some help around the house. So I usually beautify the plates. I go make sure the candles are lit. I do that. It gets me in Frenchie Energy. And I enjoy a beautiful dinner with my boys and with my husband. And then I'll go get into my beautiful pajamas. It's really big for me to have that wind down time. Sometimes I take a bath. Sometimes my husband and I have special time together, whatever that is, to really enjoy the end of my day. Then I'll move into indie energy. I put the kids to bed. Yeah, I start to really slow down. I'll do my nighttime journaling. I will sit in silence. I might bring something that just feels really grounding to me. I have a beautiful blanket, right? I'm just taking it down, down, down. And I set my nighttime intention before I go to sleep. I have beautiful things on my nightstand that really support my bedtime routine, my beauty sleep routine, lavender, fresh oils, statues that mean something to me. So I'm really in a state of unwinding and opening my consciousness before I go to bed. So I wanted to leave you with this. For your day, when you think about structuring your day, think about starting indie energy, then going into Frenchie energy, then going into New Yorker energy. And then as you wind down your day, you go New Yorker, Frenchie, indie. This creates beautiful bookend, a beautiful circular flow for your life and for your day. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you. I'd love to know how you feel about this and what it brings up inside of you, some ideas that you might have. Start to share with each other what actually speaks to your Frenchie, your New Yorker, and your indie, and start to plan your day like this. It just creates such a feeling of space, a feeling of receiving. And of course, if you want to know more information about the FemmeTypes, we have a quiz here for you, and we have lots of other programs that will assist you inside of deepening inside of your FemmeType. So just wanted to share that with you today. I'd love to know what you think and how this resonates with you. So I'll see you next time.